morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. I know it's been a while since I made a video. Things have been kind of crazy. Just a brief update. I had the COVID scare. I think I talked about that. My son got tested. We got the results. It's all negative. But we are pulling the kids. We did pull the kids. Last week was our first week of official homeschool. It's a little crazy, but we got it all done. And yeah, so now we're trying to get back onto a schedule and get into normal, and let's do this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about perspective. When we're looking at situations and we're in a situation and we're dealing with things, a lot of time it's your perspective that really is what dictates what is going on. Two people can walk into the same situation and see it completely different because they have different perspectives. And that can really change the way that you are interacting with the world around you. It's just really funny. Okay, so recently here in Colorado, we've had like crazy go on. We had 100-degree weather, followed by this horrible, the hot weather made the forest fires way worse. There was this plume of ash that literally rained down ash upon most of northern Colorado. And it was really like apocalypse weather. It was scary. My chin is swollen. I'm having teeth issues. Anyways, so apocalyptic weather, scary, crazy looking, really like end of the world, which was funny. So everybody like was going to the grocery store and going shopping like it was really the end of the world. There were more people buying like huge amounts of groceries than they were like when we were on quarantine, which I just found really ironic. So we've got the COVID going on, and we've got this fire raining down upon us, and it's just really crazy. And then it snowed, and it was really cold. So you had to go out and try to save your gardens and do whatever you can. I got a bunch of friends who just went through and collected everything. We're like, that's it. Everything must be collected. Garden is over. We're never going to be able to garden again. At least not this year. And so they went out and they collected everything. I did a fair share of collecting, but we just covered a lot of stuff. We brought tarps and blankets out and covered all my tomatoes and delicate stuff. A lot of the plants survived. It wasn't really cold that long, so we got lucky. But it was just interesting in that situation, the different perspective of looking at it. Like, there were a lot of panic. There was like, oh my God, my garden is dying, my herbs are dying, I'm not going to have anything. And they brought everything in, and their houses are full. And they're drying and herbing and canning and doing everything. Now we picked all of our red tomatoes. I did some canning. We made pickled tomatoes, which, if you haven't had one yet, let me say it's interesting. I am weirdly addicted to them all of a sudden. They're good though. It's one of those things, you're like, I have all these tomatoes, what do I do with it? But so now, my garden's back to normal. You would have never thought that it snowed. I mean, it's colder, it's fall, I've got my house coat, it's cold outside. But it's almost there. But just that difference in perspective, my garden is still growing. I was able to keep it there. And now I'll be able to keep harvesting from it. Now, I'm not saying those other people were wrong. I'm just saying that that's their perspective, and they really felt like that's what they had to do in that moment. And, okay, so we're talking about tomatoes in our garden, but now let's talk about life. And when we're talking about a situation, how you walk into it is really going to dictate how you walk out of it. If you walk into a situation and you're like, this is the end, it's over, it's done, I have to get all of this mess cleaned up so that I can be done and walk away, then that's the perspective that you're walking away with. If you walk into it and you're like, this is going to be a new beginning, this is a transition, this is a lesson, whatever, then that's kind of how you're walking through that. And as we are trying to manage life and our practice and our whatever, you see a lot of people who are like, how do I balance my practice and my magic and my work and my life and my family and all of those things? Again, that's perspective. If you wake up in the morning and you say, I am only going to have time to go to work today, it's going to consume my entire day, even though you only go to work for 8 to 15 hours, that's a big gap. But there are people who are working 12 plus hours a day. Okay, so that's half your day. You still have this other half of the day. You got to sleep, you got to do stuff, whatever. But if you are thinking, this is it, that's all I got, it's the end, this is all I have, then that's all the day's gonna end with. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, this is a new day, I've got a whole day ahead of me, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do my thing, I'm gonna take care of my kids, I'm gonna practice magic, I'm gonna meditate, and I'm going to do these things, and you start with that perspective, then that's the way that your day is going to unfold. And now it's not always gonna work out that way. But if you have that positive mindset and that productive, perspective, productive perspective, then you are way more likely to find that success. And the same thing goes when we're doing our spiritual work or our spell work. If you come into a situation and you're like, oh, this is scary and I'm not going to be able to do that, then that's what's going to come out. The darkness is coming. We are almost to the equinox. We have the dark moon coming up. A lot of this dark energy is really seeping into our life. And this is a good thing. This is part of that natural transition. It's coming to us. We're going to move forward. We're going to do things. We're going to go through this darkness and hopefully come out the other side reborn into something new. And please let 2021 be better. More productive, more forward moving. I think a lot of people are feeling stagnant right now because they're kind of stuck. They're stuck where they are. They're stuck with the things that are going on in this world. It's not happening the way that we had envisioned this year to happen. In 2019, I don't think that there were people who were like, in 2020, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to get stuck because we're here. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can come through this as a society as a better place. We can come through this as people. We can come through this as individuals. All of those things. Learning, growing, and being more productive in the future, more, having a better positive outlook. So, when you start your day, how do you think about it? Are you thinking, oh, this is the end, all I have to do is go to work today. It's going to take up my whole day. I hate my job. Even if you don't like your job, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to get this over with, I'm going to make some money, and I'm going to be able to do what I want. That is much different than I hate my fucking job and I don't want to go to work today, but I have to. Okay, so you are creating that mindset, and then that's going to lead your day. And so you are the only one in control of your mindset. It's crazy. I'm telling my kids this all the time. They're like, I feel, or this way, or I don't want to, or whatever it is. And I keep telling them, you are the only one in control of your mindset. You are the only one in control of your actions. You are the only one that can make you do whatever it is that we need to do. And you're the one making it happen in this way. You got to clean the toilet. If the whole time you stand there and you're like, I got to clean the toilet. It takes forever and it never gets done and it's super gross. But if you're like, bam, let's get this done. I'm going to clean the toilet. It's going to take 2 minutes. Done. And then walk away and be done with it. That's a much different perspective. Even when we talk to each other, to tell somebody to shut up versus to tell someone, hey, could you please be quiet, is a much different, same end result. I mean, if your end result is to make someone be quiet, same end result. You tell somebody to shut up, chances are they're going to be mad, they're going to be offended, they're going to be upset, and really all you wanted is like 2 minutes of quiet. And so you are affecting that reality around you, and only you are controlling that reality, because that's your reality. Your perspective is your reality. Okay, so before this gets any more crazy ranty, because I feel it going in that direction, because I could talk about this all day, like, really, you are in control, you decide, and what is it that you want to decide? So I challenge you, as you go through your days, to think about that. How are you seeing this day? How do you want to see this day? Is this the way that you want to see it? If you get to the end of the day and you're like, I hated this day. Why? Because you created that perspective, or because something actually happened that made it that loathing of a situation? Yeah, we all have really bad days, and there are days that we're going to hate and that you cannot perspectively change into something better. But you can say, that was a crappy day, I learned my lesson, I'm going to move forward so that I don't have to be there again. And that's a much different perspective than, this is a horrible day, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be just like that. So again, I challenge you to change your perspective Have a different perspective. Look at it differently. Think about how you could look at it differently, how you want to look at it differently. You know, I'm not saying create a world full of rose-colored goggles where you see only what you want to see, but there is that availability in your life, and to see the things that you need to see, and to see the things in a positive light, and to be productive and happy and successful. And you control that. So I challenge you to change your perspective and to really think positive and to create the world that you want to create. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. I'm going to go be super productive today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to get back to doing normal videos. We're going to get back on this great schedule. Hopefully they'll be every day again. That's my goal. We'll see what happens. Think positive.